Hey y'all, welcome back to the Europats. And if you're new here, I'm Diane, and this is my husband Matt, and we are in the middle of planning our move from the US to Europe, starting in Albania and then finally going to France. And what we've realized lately is that there is this whole part of the process that we didn't really anticipate because people talk a lot about the move itself. They talk about the excitement. They talk about the destination, the big life change. But there's this stretch of time before any of that actually happens where nothing has technically changed yet. And at the same time, everything feels different.
And it's hard to explain that unless you're actually in it. Because if someone were to look at our life right now from the outside, they would probably say everything looks the same.
I know EVP NYC would say that. See what I did there?
We're still working, we're still doing all the normal things. Our routines haven't changed, but the way it feels to be in those routines has shifted. And I think that's the part that caught us off guard.
It really did because you don't expect your perspective to change before your situation changes. But that is exactly what happens. You'll be doing something completely normal, running errands, going to the grocery store, driving somewhere that you have driven 1,000 times, and suddenly you're aware of it in a way that you never were before.
And it's not emotional in a big way. It's not like you stop and have some kind of moment about it. It's just the quiet awareness that this part of our life isn't permanent anymore. You're still in it, you're still doing it, but it doesn't feel open ended the way it used to.
Exactly. And I think that that's what makes this phase feel so strange because you're still fully living your life. But at the same time, you're starting to step outside of it mentally. It's almost like you're observing your own routine while you're still in it. And that's not something you really experience unless you're going through some sort of transition like this. So now let's talk about the comment of the week. This comment came from channel Not Dead Yet Adventures from Jeff, who we also follow. It's a great channel. If you haven't followed it, you should. He made a comment that really connected to this, and we wanted to share part of it because it put words to something that we've been feeling but hadn't quite articulated yet. And again, this is not his whole comment, it's a portion of it. His whole comment was,
It was
it was
long.
long, so we're only going to put in just a little bit of it, but it was a great comment. And his comment reads, after 2 months, the daily calls to friends have faded. The routine coffee shops, gas stations, and grocery stores are just a distant memory. The unconscious or autopilot driving home after a long day seems like years ago. The Taco Tuesday or Sunday brunch meetups have been replaced, and you are rarely talked about anymore when they do meet. After 2 months, you will have all new routines being formed, or you will be ready to head for home. The faster and more easily you slip into new routines, the faster you feel at home.
What stood out to me about this wasn't even about the moving part. It was the way he described those everyday routines because those are the things that make up most of your life, even though you don't really think about them. It's the places you go without thinking, the habits you repeat without noticing, and how those become the structure of your day.
And what's interesting is that we're not at the point where those routines are gone yet, but we are at the point where we're starting to notice them. And once you notice them, you realize how much of your life is built around things you've been doing without even really thinking about them.
And I think that's where this in between phase really shows up because you're still living those routines, but they don't feel automatic anymore. You're aware of them, and that awareness changes your relationship with them.
And it shows up in really small ways throughout the day. Like we'll be out doing something completely normal, and there's this moment where you realize that this is part of a chapter that's coming to an end. And not in a sad way, just in a very matter of fact, aware kind of way where you realize that things are shifting, even though nothing has physically changed yet.
It's more reflective than emotional, and I think that's what makes it so different from what people expect. You don't feel like you're leaving yet, You just feel like you're paying attention in a way that you weren't before. And that awareness carries into everything you're doing.
It really does. And it changes how you think about even small decisions because now everything has this added layer of, does this make sense for where we are right now? It's not that we're overthinking things, it's just that we're thinking about them differently because now we have a timeline attached to everything.
And that timeline shows up in conversations we didn't even used to have because we'll start talking about something simple, and before you know it, we're discussing whether it even makes sense to bring it with us or whether it's something that we should just let go of. I hate letting go of stuff.
I like getting stuff.
I know. The Amazon drivers love you.
Not anymore.
You keep them
They feel
busy.
like we've broken up because I don't get near what I used to.
No.
And now what I do get is stuff that we have to have, like coffee and,
Oh, we gotta have coffee.
stuff like that that you
Gotta
have
have
to
that
get.
espresso.
Anything to keep me from going to the store. So I will even get weird things like deodorant. So I just get all that from Amazon. I'm not going to Walmart, y'all. I'm not doing it. Somehow, we always end up trying to figure out where it would go in an apartment we haven't even seen yet, which is probably not the most practical way to make decisions.
But it does show you where your mindset is because everything is being filtered through that next phase now. It's not about what works today, it's about what works for where we're going.
Time also feels different now too, and this is something that I didn't expect because it doesn't feel like it's rushed, but it does feel like it's more defined. There's a direction to it now that wasn't there before, and that changes how you experience it, and it's really weird. Again, it's not rushed, but I want it to be rushed, but yet I don't want it to be rushed. It's weird.
I want it rushed. I
It's
don't
just
care.
weird.
I want it rushed. I'm ready.
Well, I'm ready too, but still, I mean, there's still so much that we have to do.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting closer, so I don't want to rush too much, but yeah, I mean, I'm ready to get there as well. It's weird. It's just a weird feeling.
Yeah. Now it feels like we're moving towards something specific, even though our day to day hasn't changed. That gives time a different kind of weight because everything is connected to that next step.
And I've noticed it most in the quieter moments of the day, kind of like the end of the day when everything settles down and we're just sitting here hanging out and talking. Those conversations feel a little bit different now because it's not just about the kind of day we had, it's more about what is coming next. Like, you know, oh, like if I have a really cruddy day at work, which happens,
Often.
yeah, I'm like, I don't have to do this anymore. I can't wait until I don't have to do that. I can't wait until at the end of the day, after dinner or whatever, we can take a walk like everybody else does and get out and enjoy. Not that we can't do that here. We can. It's not the same.
No,
Not
it's
even
not the same.
remotely the same.
It's almost like we're living in two timelines at the same time, where there's the life we're still fully in, and then there's the life we're moving toward. And both of those exist at the same time.
And that's really what makes this phase so unique because it's not about leaving yet. It's about preparing to leave while still being fully present where you are. And that creates this really interesting mix of normal and not normal at the same time, if that makes sense.
What's weird is that did make sense in my head. That's scary.
You know what? If I speak and he understands,
That's scary.
that is real scary because that's not typically the case. The things that come out of my mouth, y'all have no idea. We could just be sitting here and just something random.
It does.
And, I'll
And
crack myself up.
she'll say something, and I'll just
Yep. That happens quite often.
very often.
Especially when I crack myself up because there are times when I think I'm hilarious, even though I might not be, but in my mind I am, and I'll just laugh and
And she
laugh.
can't stop laughing. And finally I'll turn around. What are you laughing at?
You don't want up in here, y'all. Y'all do not want up in here.
Anyway, I think that's why people don't talk about this part very much because it's not dramatic. It doesn't stand out as a big moment. It's just the quiet shift that happens over time.
But I also think it's a very important part of the process because it gives you time to adjust mentally before anything actually changes physically. And I think that that would make the transition a lot more smooth when it finally does happen.
Smooth.
We like smooth, not bumpy, no stress.
But that's what it usually happens,
Oh, yeah,
is
no
the
stress.
bumps and stress.
It's the curse of dying. It is a real thing, y'all.
It is. Trust me. Now, it's not something to rush through. It's something to move through because it's part of how you get from one place to the next in a way that actually feels settled.
And if you're in this phase right now, you probably recognize what we're talking about because it's not about big changes. It's about small shifts in how everything feels.
And those small shifts, they add up.
They really do. And if you're interested in following along with us as we continue on this journey, make sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of when our next video will be out, which will be next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Central.
And we go live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Central for our Sunday coffee, snack, and chat, which is a little more relaxed and a chance to talk things through, like things in real time, with the best people we've ever talked with.
The best people you could ever meet. We have very helpful, nice, funny people on our lives.
And if somebody has a question and they bring it across, if we can't answer it, more than likely someone else right there in the conversation is going to answer it for them.
You're going to get an answer,
Yeah.
even if it's not from us. We have a good time.
Yeah. Like we've said before, we've got people from now, now Mexico,
Almost Mexico. You
almost,
know who you
we're going
are.
to say almost Mexico. And we've got people from France. We've got people from Germany. We've got people from Italy. We've got people from Albania.
Asia.
We've got people from Asia, from the US. I mean, it's great to have everybody together and just talk. Have a nice time, talk about whatever comes on your mind, whatever one's wanting to throw out there.
Yeah, you never know. Again, we've already said this before. You never know what's coming out of my mouth. You don't ever know. Matt will sing.
I sing.
So you just don't know. You should join. It's fun. You'll have a good time. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can check out our merch store where we have new merch, new logo, new merch. Or if you would like to become a member of this channel, just click the link below.
We also have our Europats Insider Notes, which is on our Patreon page, which is, yes,
Free.
free, where we go a lot deeper into the research and detail behind what we talk about in these videos.
You can also buy us a coffee over on our Buy Me a Coffee page if you feel so led. And we have included links to everything down in the description box below. You guys have a great week, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.